It was my dream job, actually. I was working in the automotive industry. That's what I'd written in my 12th slam books and all that I wanted to work with. They didn't allow comics to speak in Hindi at some point. When Vedas goes up, a lot of them are like, oh, English mein baat kar raha hai.
Yeah, I get to India as well.
Yeah. So obviously they're going to pull back and it's going to be tough for him on a line. We don't have that bandwidth. We're so scared of even like upsetting our parents. How on earth are we going to go naked on a stage? Like, it's insane.
The last proper show I did, not open mics not included, was a Women's Day show for 2023.
You did a Women's Day show?
I was hosting it on a lineup of women. So like they had one token male host.
Nice. I like that.
Hi Niv, welcome to the comment section.
Thank you.
This is very weird to be all formal with you.
Yeah.
Because, wow, so professional. It's so formal, even the crew is formal. They didn't even switch off their phones. Nice. So Niv, you're the first comic I'm interviewing on this podcast. Yeah.
Interesting.
I've done writers, actors, mostly writers and actors.
Was I the only one that said yes or something? Is that why?
No, there's another comedian scheduled later today.
Oh,
so,
got it.
By
You
that
just
time.
started.
But how's life otherwise?
Very good. I just released a stand-up video, but I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Like after this video, I'm like, I've been thinking about this also. What is the right time to quit stand-up? Like after I release this. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Why do you want to quit stand-up?
It's so easy. See, I don't think we can ever quit stand-up. I really think all of you that have quit also have quit temporarily. And eventually you'll come back.
I haven't quit. I'm like on a longish sabbatical.
But it's been long.
I plan to come back.
It's been like many years. Since the
Not
pandemic
many years.
or something.
The last proper show I did, not open mics not included, was a Women's Day show for 2023.
You did a Women's Day show?
I was hosting it on a lineup of women. So like they had one token male host.
Nice. I like that. Because you know what happens? Even for Women's Day, they call men to do the shows. Do you know this?
To an audience.
Women have started losing out to men on Women's Day shows. You find out like some Gaurav Kapoor got a Women's Day show and it just ruins your day. It's like, come on, Gaurav.
Yeah, because
Say no to the Women's Day show so we get it. You know?
But Gaurav Kapoor, that's because he does Hindi jokes.
Yeah, not only Hindi.
Relatable. Oh, you're going to say something controversial.
No, I wasn't going to say controversial. I was going to say, I think these women just find him funnier. It's just unfortunate.
Probably. But you also hit 100,000 subscribers?
I did hit
Nice.
100,000 subscribers. I'm so grateful. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, you've put up a comment and all on your video. It's all thanks to you guys.
Yeah, I'm very grateful.
Quite
You know what? I don't think I'm going to be a good celebrity.
What?
If I ever become, that's why I'm not becoming famous. That's that's what I think. Because I feel like you need a little bit of arrogance to be famous.
You have a bit of arrogance. Like, I'm sorry to say.
Thanks, Abbas.
Yeah.
No, I'm so happy. I hope I have some arrogance.
You do have a bit of like, don't rub me off the wrong way kind of vibe. No, I'm not saying you're rude.
You know what? You're not the only one who said
Yeah.
that. Someone else also said that until I started talking. And then when I started talking, they were like, oh, I thought you were a lot more standoffish than you actually are.
No, I have talked to you enough and I still think the same.
Thanks, Abbas.
By the way, I
appreciate it.
We should come clean. Me and Niv used to work together in a workplace.
I think everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Oh yeah, there's video and audio evidence
There's
of this.
so much evidence.
That's true. We used to work together at a podcasting company and we've done enough. We've been on enough podcasts together. But just going back to what you said, that you don't think you'll be a good celebrity. Your stand-up career, in a way, kind of sort of started off not in a celebrity way, but you won a TV comedy show. Should I call it a reality show?
It was a reality show, yeah.
It was a reality show called Queens of Comedy.
Yeah.
And I remember my first impression of you was that when comedians who won something on TV, the notion was like they've got the easy way, right? They didn't struggle in like dingy rooms and with 4 people. They got like cameras and lights and fake laughter and they won. So it was fairly easy for them.
We didn't get fake laughter.
Yeah, we'll come to that. So tell me your life before you were on that show. What was... just take me back. How did you get into comedy? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
Yeah, you've never asked me. But I've spoken about it so many times.
Well, you got to speak about it one more time.
Anyway, so I think I was at a job that I didn't like at all. It was my dream job, actually. I was working in the automotive industry. That's what I did in my 12th slam books and all that I wanted to work with. Cars and stuff, and I got into it, and it was not what I expected.
So this is designing cars, am I right?
Not designing cars. I was in vehicle validation, so I was testing cars.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was very cool. Very cool job. But it was not a good job.
Like someone would drive it and then you would take notes.
Readings, yes.
Okay.
And most engineers would also drive it, but we were too new, so we would not get the chance to drive it. We had to get a license and all for test driving vehicles.
Stupid thing, yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten that.
Wait, there's a different license for driving vehicles?
Within the company, yes. You have to get a license to be able to test your... Because vehicle testing is different from just driving a car.
Yeah. You have to deliberately drive rashly, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you have to deliberately drive fast or slow or, things like that. Whatever. There's technicalities to it. Okay. So, you have to get a specific license for that to drive company vehicles. And I didn't get that. I was too new. But 2 years into it, I was like, yeah, this is not working out.
Why was that?
It was a job and a very bad one. Yeah. It was a male-dominated industry.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I'm assuming this is mostly dominated by men.
It was very much male-dominated.
Men and cars.
Dude, at that time, they didn't even know what to do with me. I remember my HOD being like, because I was the only girl in the room in my department. There were 3 girls in my department in total. I was the one in my subsect department thing. And then he looked at me and he was like, I don't even know what I'm going to do with you.
Yeah, at least he was honest.
No, but then this was in Tamil Nadu, so they would call me Papa in the department. Which what Papa is? No. That's what they call young girls, small girls.
That's
not off, Abbas. I'm in a workplace and these people are like, give Papa this, as if it's infantilizing. And so I was, in the beginning I used to roll my eyes at it, but as it went on, it became annoying because I was like, this is not going anywhere. Also, it was a weird place. I can't get into the details because that would be weird.
Creepy weird?
Yeah, a little bit creepy. Very creepy weird, not little bit creepy. It's very creepy.
So, there's something called a Nivedan song that shows up. That's the first search result.
Is that a bhajan?
I don't know. I didn't mind. Should I check?
Because then I'm fine with it. God comes first.
No, Niveda... Actually, there are many, but Niveda with 530,000 views is a song by SP Balasubramaniam. Yeah. Then
I know the song. I think boys in college used to sing the song to me.
Then there's someone called Niveditha Gowda. I don't know who she is.
Yeah, she's an actress.
She's an actress. That's the second one. And then number 3 is you. So
that's not bad
SP
at all.
Balasubramaniam, actress.
I don't think I'd be
Niveditha
third either.
And then you.
That's cool.
Yeah. But sorry, you were saying that you already made a YouTube channel before ever.
It is the same YouTube channel. I just
seriously?
Yeah, I just privatized the previous videos and started putting new ones.
So then how did Queens of Comedy happen?
I saw Kaneez's tweet about there's a reality show, and I actually sent it. I have a very funny friend. She's very she's how all of us have that friend that's very funny.
Yeah.
But then they don't want to make a business out of it. They don't want to make money off it.
Completely ignored what I said.
What did you say?
I said, for you, it's me. Never mind.
I'm actually talking about my funniest friend.
Okay, sure. Was this your friend from college?
But you're a comedian, Abbas. You should be talking about another...
I was just trying to make a stupid joke.
But do you have another funny friend?
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And usually they aren't the ones who go into comedy, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They're just funny on their own. True. They're cooler people than us, actually.
Yeah.
So anyway, I have this very funny friend.
Yeah.
And I saw that tweet and I just needed company to do this stupid thing, So I sent it to her and I was like, please, you need to do this. You're so funny.
Okay.
And she was like, there's no way. She's like I said, she's too cool for this. So she's like, there's no way I'm doing things like this. And so then I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it.
Oh.
And then I sent in my entry and I got selected.
Had you done any open mics in Coimbatore, right? You're in Coimbatore at this time?
Not in Coimbatore, Chennai.
Chennai.
I was in Chennai at this time. I was working in Chennai.
Okay. Have you done any open mics? Been on stage?
I had. I had already started doing it a year before because so there was Evam stand-up tamasha.
Yeah.
And they didn't have open mics actually, but
Right.
people that were associated with them had like one open mic. And then I met like two other comics. Those guys started another open mic 3 years later.
Right.
So although I had started trying to do stand-up since 2014, I did my first open mic in 2014 or something, and my second one in 2016, and the third one in 2017. So that's how hard it was to get even an open mic, right? But none of these open mics had an audience because you would be just performing to other comics and things like that. Very rarely would you get an audience. So then I think maybe I had done 15, 16 open mics before Queens of Comedy.
Okay.
So it was pretty cool that I actually won that show. I just want to say. I had beginner's luck, but I was competing with people like Uruj,
who's now an
international comic and like a festival comic.
Yeah.
So I'd like to feel a little good about that.
Who all were the judges? Kanis was one, and who was the other? Kenny was one?
Kanis, Rohan Joshi, and
right.
Richa Chadda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good lineup. I just want to go back. So you said that you were doing this automotive job, automotive engineer?
Yeah, I was a validation engineer.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
So you said it was your dream job.
Yeah.
But then when your dream job did not live up to your dreams, how did you feel?
You know, I do want to give you like some context. I come from a very, you can't dream about anything else. You have, in the space of engineering, medicine, law, this was the only thing that seemed interesting.
Right.
But it was also, it became my dream job because of watching TV shows. I used to watch things like Top Gear. There was a show called Overhauling.
Yes.
These were all my favorite TV shows at the time. And really, I liked entertainment. But because these were shows about cars and cars had something to do with engineering, I was like, maybe, this. But once I got into the job, I was like, oh, this is not what I like. I like entertainment. And this is just like a job now that it's not entertaining at all.
I asked that because my first job was also in Rolling Stone magazine.
And you thought that was your dream job?
It was my dream job because ever since I was like 15, 16 years old, I was this rock music kid and I was like, music is my life. One day I will write articles and reviews of songs and albums and artists, and like I will make or break their careers, and I'll be the zeitgeist, I'll be the voice of a generation and stuff like that. Okay. And all of my context was Rolling Stone magazine in America in the 60s and 70s because that's when the whole revolution was happening, Bob Dylan, Beatles, all of that. And I got the job in Rolling Stone India in 2015. Okay. There was just one more writer with me. The office was, so they I don't know if it's still around, but there used to be a magazine called Man's World. Okay. So Rolling Stone was a subsidiary of Man's World and they both shared an office. And you could clearly see the bulk of the importance was on Man's World. Rolling Stone was just this like sidey thing where they were like, okay, let them do what they want to do, right? And I remember the first day in Rolling Stone, I'm sitting there and in my head I was like, man, there'll be so many cool people in Rolling Stone. Everybody will be in like leather jackets and someone will be playing a guitar and stuff. It was like this. You could hear the beeping of the computers and the humming of the AC. People are sitting in their cubicles typing.
It was an office.
It was an office. I was like, it's just another office. The most you could see the Rolling Stone section probably on their desks. They had a few posters up and some graffiti kind of stuff. But it was like just another office. And I was like, this is just not what I imagined. And I kept waiting for when that moment will come, right? And sure, like our editor would give us assignments of going and covering a gig. You'd go to a gig, you'd bump into the same 7 music journalists at every gig. And they were the only ones who were there to watch the show. Other people were, as you have mentioned in your video also, busy drinking, doing this. Yeah. So I don't know if you ever performed at Blue Frog in Lower Parel, the one that used to be around.
I think I have once maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Blue Frog used to be where most of the gigs used to happen. And yeah, within 2 months, I was like, you bump into the same journalists. You're just sitting in the office all day. It's just another journalist job.
Yeah.
And again, no shade at the people who were working there. They were really good.
Yeah.
And the editor was this lady called Lalita Suhasini, who was like a very established music writer. And yeah, but I was like, it's so weird that the dream job, you looked forward to doing. Just when that doesn't live up to your expectations, then where do you go? So then, at that time I was actively doing stand-up. So then I left and I was like, I'd rather do stand-up. The good thing was that the office was in Lower Parel and Comedy Store, then Laugh Factory was
in
also
Lower Parel.
right there. So I was like, I could go and perform there almost every other night. So that was nice.
I wanted to ask you, since you've been in the scene, since literally the beginning of stand-up, like you've been
2012, 2013 is also when I started doing stand-up in Bombay.
Exactly. No, but I started it. Technically, I have started in 2017.
Okay. Yeah.
You've started when, that's what I saw. You were hanging out with the comics that I used to watch on YouTube in 2012, 2013. Yeah. You've seen the scene change over the years. Drastically. I've seen it change in the past 8 years. And I was only here since 2018. What is your opinion of how it has changed and how it has changed for you specifically?
Wow. Okay. I like how I'm the guest now on the podcast. So it's changed in good and bad ways, right? Like initially, I'm talking about in context of Mumbai because this is where I used to perform. The Palladium Comedy Store was like the place to be, right? Which probably now is like a habitat, but even more concentrated. So the manager there, the person who used to book the lineups and all that, they were the people to impress, right? And getting 10 minutes at the Comedy Store became the thing to do. So the material that was being performed by the comedians, if I see it from today's lens, it was very hacky. It was very, to some extent, even very regressive, right? The place was in this very posh mall in South Bombay, so your audience was only the rich people.
Right.
You weren't even thinking of catering to any other crowd.
And that's why it was all in English.
That was all in English. Then slowly, the Comedy Store opened up one branch in Delhi, right? The Delhi comics were, or rather the Delhi crowd was in such a way that you couldn't do the Palladium stuff there. Right? Because I remember they used to do this, the lineups there, it used to be 2 Delhi comics and 1 comic they used to fly from Mumbai. And everybody's story was the Mumbai comics would bomb because they were doing the South Bombay Palladium stuff there, which wasn't working.
Which also, it's still today, it is the same.
And then you would have their comics, your Mahib Singh, Zakir Khan, Amit Tandon, who would destroy with their Hindi content. Then, I don't know if you remember, the very first stand-up comedy videos that started going out on YouTube is Comedy Store used to have this very shitty CCTV camera, which was for security reasons, okay? But then obviously it would record the comedian as well on stage. And a lot of comics started taking this footage. They used to charge 300 rupees for the CD where they would burn the video and give it to you.
Wow.
Comedians started uploading that. So but
the audio was from the...
The audio in the beginning would be so bad that the comedians would put subtitles just to make sure that this thing was heard. Then I think someone there in the sound booth was like, we can hook up the audio separately. So then you had this series of videos where the video was really shitty and grainy, but the audio was really great because it was the mic output. So those were the very first comedy videos.
And do you remember who that was?
Sapan, Saurapan, Sahil Shah. Even I have like an open mic recording with that shitty video that came up. Yeah.
And it used to do well, like fairly?
It used to do well, yeah. Vipul Goyal had put out a couple of those videos.
Wow.
And then as other venues started doing...
Habitat probably opened 2016.
Habitat, around 2016, 2017.
Tuning Folk it was.
Tuning Folk, and it was supposed to be a music venue. Balraj's idea was that he wanted to give indie musicians a platform to do. But obviously comedians started filling up the place and killing way more. So then Balraj was like, why not?
Yeah.
So then that happened. And then, of course, there was that... The Delhi comics started doing so well that then when they would come to Bombay, they would start doing well here as well. So then the Mumbai comics would see these Delhi comics do jokes in Hindi and they were like, why are we doing jokes about...
But this happened much later because I remember a rumor of someone telling me that they didn't allow comics to speak in Hindi at some point. Like Sapan was telling me I had to learn to do stand-up in English because they said I couldn't do it in Hindi.
So that was because Comedy Store was an institution, a British institution, right? It was set up by Charlotte Ward, who was Dom Ward's daughter, right? Then, I don't know if you're aware, there was this whole dispute over the place. So the premises in Palladium, I don't know where the case is. Apparently, this is still in court, so I don't know if I can talk about it openly. But the Comedy Store then had to move out. So then that place became Canvas Laugh Club
Right.
under new management. Canvas Laugh Club mein anything went.
Yeah,
like, then
you
could
could
do
speak
Hindi
any
stuff.
language.
The English rule was because, again, if you did enough number of shows at Comedy Store Mumbai, they would fly you to Manchester to let you do a set.
Yeah, Anuvab Pal used to do that.
I know a lot of Sumit Anand has also gone. A lot of these people
cool.
would put you up in this thing. So there they were thinking from that lens that if this guy has to go perform in Manchester, then obviously they'll have to do English stuff. So that's why there was this.
That's why the
thing.
rule existed.
You know a funny story. So I once went to watch a show. It was Puneet Pandya and Sriram doing half an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was a very small room in Khar.
Okay.
So obviously Sriram and Puneet's audience older, they've come to hear like serious stuff, quote unquote serious stuff.
Yeah.
They are aware of the kind of humor that Puneet does. So Puneet did half an hour, out of which I think 15 to 16 minutes were on his material about his divorce. Okay. Now his audience lapped it up, obviously. They really loved it, whatever. The show wraps up by around 9:30. Then Puneet says, I'm going to do I'm going to do stage time at J Spot, the old J Spot. Okay. The show that was going on there was a Comic Stan trial show. Okay. So the audience is like average age is 15-year-olds. Aishwarya Mohan Raj was the closer. Okay. Everybody had just come to see Aishwarya. Right. So, and Aishwarya had to leave early. So she did her stuff and she left, and her stuff did well, like everybody. And then Puneet goes on last. Okay, Puneet does the same divorce set that I just seen him do kill at his audience, and the 15-year-olds are like, they are aghast, like, what is this man saying? What is happening? Who is this uncle who's telling us about court and divorce and all of this thing?
You know, this similar thing happened to me. You know, this video I've just released.
Yeah.
It's basically making fun of how my ancestry only has been poor. It's about generational debt and stuff. It kills. It's a tight set. So recently I had a show at South Bombay for all these rich people. I was performing, and I did an hour. It wasn't corporate. It was for cricket club. It was a private show.
Okay.
And I was performing to a bunch of like very old South Bombay people, very rich people.
CCI.
Yeah, CCI. So it was an hour, and I finished 45 minutes of all the material I have and everything. And it was up and down, all right? I struggled a little bit in between, but it was up and down. But I left this 15 minutes for the end because I was like, this is my best material right now, and it will do well. But I was talking about generational debt in front of the wealthiest people in the country.
Yeah.
I did not anticipate how much they would pity me. They became sad. They literally at my punchlines were like, oh, I'm not even joking. It was painful. And I had to like breathe. I was like, no, don't feel bad for me. I'm fine. This is actually funny to us. And it was just, oh my God. And then I had to like recover. So I had to do some crowd work and pick it up again and talk about extramarital affairs and things that they would like.
Oh yeah. They love
and then
that shit.
they love it. Oh my God. They love talking about affairs.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we're all having affairs with each other. It's just like, wow. So you got to really read your audience. And that was a good lesson for me. I was like, I'm never talking about being poor in front of rich people. Because that's just not a good idea. But yeah, this is a very valid point. Like even now, you know why people don't come for lineup shows once they become famous? Because on a lineup show, like even Veer Das has to perform to people that don't like him. Like there are so many people in that audience that would not like Veer, especially the current audience that consumes a lot of Hindi content.
Yeah.
When Veer Das goes up, a lot of them are like, oh, English mein baat kar raha hai.
Yeah, I get 2 Indias.
So obviously they're going to pull back and it's going to be tough for him on a lineup.
But wouldn't that make you a better comic?
It would make you a much better comic.
Yeah.
But a lot, like, you know, when you've done this, like, I was just talking to a few people and they're not even famous comics. They're just, they're just popping, you know, but they've been doing it for 8-9 years.
Right.
So when you've done it for so long and you finally got like your audience and everything and people like your jokes and your humor, then you don't want to have to cater to these
the-
other people. Then you just want to perform for your audience for a while.
But then your audience also, or their audience will exhaust at some point, right? They would.
They
move
will,
on
which
to-
is when then you have to come back to the open.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I need a new audience. I got to reinvent
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
But if you don't, then it's because, you know, a lot of these bigger comics, because they have their own audience, they build hours very quickly.
Right.
They build hours and they're able to tour. Now, people like us, if we have to build an hour, we have to wait 5 years or something, because you're doing 10 minutes a day and you have to like take these 10 minutes, stitch it together into an hour and then start. And then you have to have an audience that comes to watch you.
Yeah, but that's when eventually when that one first hour gets done, and if it takes off, then I think then you're in that bucket then.
But it's very rare for an hour to take off like that. Sure, it will take off, but you have to have another hour ready.
Yeah. Or at least 50% in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even if you do an hour, like right now, I want to do an hour because I feel like I can take it abroad. I want to go to Soho Theatre.
I want to ask you, so you were in Melbourne.
I did the Melbourne Comedy Festival.
How
this
long
year.
were you there?
3 weeks. 2 weeks in Melbourne, 1 week in Sydney.
How was that?
It was the best, Abbas. I came back with new amp. Why do you think I haven't quit stand-up yet? I went there and I was like, oh, this is actually what I want from this. Because it was taken care of by someone else. I didn't have like the pressure. Like Uruj, Anirban and all, they had their run. They were called by the festivals. So, you know, they had their run of their shows every day.
Which means they would have to get their audience.
They would have to sell tickets on their name and things like that. I was on a lineup show called Brown Women Comedy, and it was produced by someone else. She was taking care of the ticket sales, the production, I just had to show up and do my set, which I already had ready. So really, it was 3 weeks of tourism with stand-up. Look, I had to do stand-up every day. We didn't have a day off.
How much of it did you have to modify for the Australian audience?
I didn't have to modify much because it was like a Desi Australian audience. And really, even the white people who come to watch you, come to watch you for your Indian perspective and experience and things like that. So as long as you're speaking in English, they like whatever you're saying. And it was also interesting, like, I have this one Udit Narayan joke that, you've heard that one?
That's
when
the first joke in your
set, that's my opening joke. So I had that over there, and like the Indians would laugh, but the white people would be like, I don't know who this is. And so I would explain it to them. And that would be funny too, because now you're explaining, oh, there's this really famous 70-year-old singer in India who's making out with his fans in the car. And they're all like getting disgusted by it. And I was like, what, do you not think Indians can make out with it? Or stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun doing the run. It was a low pressure situation. But I also got to watch a lot of international acts, which is the best thing about touring. Because, you know, once you leave India, you realize there are, you know, when people are like, oh, Bo Burnham, there'll never be someone like him in India. Do you know why? We are not free enough to do comedy. Like, people don't understand the concept of freedom in art. Like, the reason India is so bad at art is because we're not free. If you go to Australia and see these Western comedy festivals, they're naked all the time in all of these shows. They're naked. They're doing things that are so crazy. We wouldn't have even thought of it because we don't have that bandwidth. We're so scared of even like upsetting our parents. How on earth are we going to go naked on a stage? Like, it's insane. It's not even something you can dream of. So, like, I feel like in India, people, when they compare us to other, like, see, a different type of art form can come from repression that we're facing. And that's also good, but it's not going to be the same as what they have in the West. They've not only been doing it longer, they have way more freedom to do what they want to do.
So then how does an Indian comic make a show that is up to standards for an international audience?
It really is, in my opinion, of course, I don't know.
Sure.
But as far as I've seen, like when I went to the festival and I watched a lot of shows, it really is, it's very similar to us. Because maybe they have alt shows where they're like doing whatever they want. They have improv where they're doing whatever they want. But their struggles are the same as our struggles. Not all of them are making it big. Some of them are still like working class comedians and stuff like that, right? But I think the way Indians shine is that you tell your authentic story and perspective. Because it may be it may be done for us, but people outside of this country have not heard our stories.
Right.
So when you take that there, it's so interesting to them because for them it's you're taking them into a world they've not seen. You're giving them punchlines they've not heard of because we come from a different culture. Even the concept of like I was talking about how nobody in my family has ever fallen in love and all of that, right? Because we come from a place where everybody I know has gotten into a... That's so odd to them. They don't even understand how...
Yeah.
I'm like, we're not even allowed to be... Like, love is taboo where I come from.
Yeah.
And they can't wrap their heads around it. And not just there, even in Mumbai, a lot of people are, but we've moved on in India. No, we've not. Like, you moved on in Mumbai and Delhi and Bangalore. But there are still smaller towns where people haven't. So if you can tell like a story like that, at least if it's not funny, it has to be engaging.
Okay.
but that's what works, especially in comedy festivals. It's why Uruj's special worked so well.
Yeah.
She was talking about therapy and, you know, her parents' divorce, I think, and all of that. That was her special. And that worked because she has a unique perspective as a Muslim Indian woman.
Yeah. How much of the English-Hindi divide do you think, does it bother you still?
It doesn't bother me at all. Actually, I actually cannot believe that there was a time when they didn't do Hindi because it's a no-brainer to me. Because Tamil comedy in Tamil Nadu, people do their stand-up in Tamil, and it immediately took them places.
Right.
Tamil comedians do not struggle because they have that regional audience.
Correct.
Where you know they'll bring a Tamil comedian to Singapore, Malaysia, London. There are Tamil people everywhere, and they will bring you there, and you can perform to them. So I cannot wrap my head around the fact that I thought I'm being a loser by doing it in English because who is going to listen? Like, first of all, we have an accent that the West does not like.
Yeah.
They're not going to adore you as they do white comics.
In fact, when white people do the Indian accent, I think what they emulate is the South Indian accent, the again so-called South Indian accent.
Yeah, maybe.
So for them, it is the intonation of the South Indian accent is what is jarring to them. So when they do the Indian accent, like you said, that is what
I actually thought was the Gujarati because I thought because in The Simpsons, isn't he a Gujarati man?
I mean, I don't know whatever he is, but Apu's accent clearly is a South Indian accent.
It is?
Yeah, Mr. Omar
I
Simpson.
genuinely thought it was a North Indian one because of
I get it. It's a vague, offensive stereotype.
Yeah, because of him being working in a supermarket. Like he
I don't think the writers...
Wasn't Apu...
Quickie Mart, it's a supermarket.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they haven't done, like, they didn't geographically go into...
Yeah, they probably didn't
they just
understand.
were like blanket brown person. So
that's true.
Yeah.
A lot of the darker Indians people thought were Sri Lankan or something.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the comedian who went against Apu, Hari Kondabolu.
He is Telugu.
He's Telugu, yeah. So I'm going to ask you, did you ever think of doing Tamil stand-up?
I can't do Tamil stand-up. I'm not as good in Tamil as I am in English. I think in
general,
English and
in
stuff.
life?
In life,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can speak Tamil, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, writing jokes in a language is still like
it doesn't come naturally to me in Tamil. I can do punchlines. I can do Tanglish.
Yeah, close enough.
But people in Tamil Nadu don't like me about it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very critical of like the movies and the culture.
Okay.
And of course, like this happens to all women in comedy. Sharon was telling me she wouldn't be able to go to Bihar.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like when we come from a certain place, we'd have to get famous outside in order to
point out the flaws.
Even to go back to our states because honestly, I'm scared. I'm scared to go to Chennai because I get a lot of hate from there.
But then, this is more like a geopolitical question. But the southern states are considered to be more progressive than the rest of India when it comes to gender ratio.
Sure, but sexism is everywhere, no matter how progressive you are.
Yeah.
Look, maybe they're like, in the foundation of, women should get an education and all that is there. But women should get an education and be quiet. Like you can't have... I'm giving my honest opinions on things. I'm criticizing the Tamil film industry. You think they like that? Of course they're going to be upset with me about it. When I when I criticize them for not having Tamil women in Tamil movies. That's a valid criticism, by the way.
Yeah.
But obviously, that's not something they're going to welcome. I'm going to have to fight it.
How does one make a living purely through stand-up?
You know,
How long has it been since you had a full-time job?
it's been 1.5 years.
1.5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So how have
But
you sustained your
I
life?
gotta say, this has been really a crazy journey for me because when I got into stand-up, like you said, I won a show and got it. So, you know, it came easily to me. I was able to get spots easily. I actually quit my job to move to Mumbai.
Right.
But it's been up and down even then, like, because I still took time to get better at stand-up because I was like, I don't have any experience in
Right.
stand-up, so I need to get better. I was also not from here. That is a huge fact. If you're in Mumbai and Delhi and Bangalore, you're so lucky because you already have access to it. But if you
Right.
have to come from another city, then that becomes an added issue because now you have to pay rent in this new city. You have to make friends. Like, you're not part of this group.
Yeah.
They will not accept you immediately. It'll be extremely cold. You'll have to earn your acceptance from people. It'll take years for you to do that. You have to be exceptionally good. If you're not making money immediately, it's gonna bog you down.
Yeah.
So all that happened to me also. And I think my Netflix thing came out. Like,
Yeah.
I had a Netflix show.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be where I started, like, I kick-started my career and I put out videos,
Yeah.
but the pandemic happened.
Damn.
And I had to leave the city, and that was 2 years of stand-up. Then we
Yeah.
all came back and we had to get a job.
Yeah.
So it really is, there's no one way to do it. It's your journey. It's just, all I can say is it is possible to make money off of stand-up if you're grinding, if you're putting out videos regularly, you're managing your own work, you're getting like corporate shows. The various venues is corporate shows, YouTube pays, if you get a little money off of YouTube, your Instagram, you put reels.
But then you're
cut out
not,
your
you're
YouTube
not
videos into
someone who's
Instagram.
like very adamantly putting out videos. You space
I'm not
your
yet.
videos out.
Yeah, I space my videos out, but I can't do that anymore. I'm gonna have to start putting out more.
Okay.
That's the game. If you don't do that, everybody is doing that now.
Yeah.
Which is what I was going to tell you.
What?
That if you have the money for it, you need to start putting out stand-up and see where that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will,
because
hopefully.
it is possible. And the fact that you are, look, again, you, Abbas, when you come back into the scene, it's going to be very cold because you've been out of the scene.
Yeah, I am just confused half the time who to message for spots because I don't know who the producers are.
Then they have to reply to you, you have to get the spot.
And then sometimes and I don't blame them for this, if there's like a young kid who started programming in the last 2 years, they probably don't know I'm someone who's done this before.
Yeah.
So they think I'm looking for like a 5-minute spot. And then I'm like, how do I bring this up to them without sounding like a bully that, hey, you know what, I've been on the scene for a while. I'm not looking for a 5-minute spot. But again, that's like a later stage.
Yeah, but it's so hard to do that because they won't give you then what to
Exactly.
do. It's very frustrating.
I don't know, I'm looking at doing something where I do a show which is half live podcast, half stand-up.
Yeah,
So
it's the only way
something
to
like
go
that.
about it.
That is another since you asked me how personally the scene has changed for me. Now it's easier in the sense that there's enough rooms there you can just rent out and they aren't like crazily expensive.
Now, Abbas, you know how many rooms got shut down and we were like, God,
of
where are we
course.
going to record
Yeah,
next?
yeah,
And then now new rooms have popped up. It's such a chaotic place. It's really, you can only do this job if you're okay with being on your feet all the time. Like, you have to like really... You can't get disheartened very quickly because it's a very up and down thing. And sure, some people like make it big all of a sudden and there's luck involved. But there's also some people who've been doing it for 10 years and then they see one person blow up in a year and it can be very frustrating.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I was going to ask you, this latest video you shot in Bangalore, correct?
I did.
And I see most comedians now, even if they're from Bombay, they're either shooting in Delhi or in Bangalore.
Yeah.
They seem to be the more feasible cities to shoot your video.
It's
now.
not about feasibility only. It's also an audience that's not saturated. So I feel like...
You don't think the Bangalore audience is saturated?
Not at all. They're interested. The warmest audience is in
Why
Bangalore
do you think
right
that
now.
is as compared to Mumbai?
Because Mumbai, first of all, has been doing it for a very long time.
Started around about the same time as Bangalore, right?
No, not as much. Bangalore had it like in little spurts. It didn't have like a proper scene for a very long time.
And the really big guys are actually from Bangalore. Your Kenny.
But they all moved immediately. As soon as they became a little big, they moved to Mumbai.
Correct.
So Bangalore was like the starting place, but it was never
It was
the
a startup.
It was.
You're welcome. Yeah.
That's facts. But it really wasn't the place that the comedy clubs began
Thrived,
and
yeah.
people like became famous and
Stayed there.
Yeah, stayed there. And also entertainment is in Mumbai. Even people from Delhi who make it big end up coming to Mumbai.
Yeah.
So
that's because I think the movies are here. And
the movies
eventually then
yeah.
that's the final call for most people. Yeah.
Exactly. So everybody moves to Mumbai eventually. But having said that, Bangalore does now have a very good scene where they have very good clubs and the recording is very good. All of it is there. But I feel like as Mumbai comics, it's better to build our material here and go perform in other cities, because Mumbai still gives you that, the audience is very, you better make
like
me
if
laugh.
you kill here, then you're definitely
killing elsewhere. Yeah.
What's like the like the most obscure place in India that you've performed?
Kozhikode.
Oh, and it was good?
It was very good, but it was a very reserved audience. And it looked haunted. It was in a mandapam and it looked like there were ghosts there.
Okay.
And that's what we made fun of in the beginning. I was opening for Kannan and this was in 2019 or something.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there have been other places. I guess like in Australia recently, there was like an open mic somewhere in some bar on top. They paid us and all for it in alcohol. But
oh, in alcohol.
you can every comic gets a free drink, and usually they pay also. But that day they didn't get good sales, so they didn't pay. But can you imagine? You don't get paid, by the way. People don't know this. People think we get paid for spots.
When I used to do open mics, people used to think we get paid for open mics. I'm like, no, you don't even get paid for like proper lineup shows.
Yeah, you don't get paid for anything. Only now Habitat has started paying a little.
Oh, really?
Do you know about this? Yeah, $500
wow.
comic.
Okay.
And this happened this month.
Okay.
For the first time. Yeah. So we've come a long way.
You know what I noticed is right now there's this wave of fatherhood specials that's happening for a lot of
Everybody's gotten kids.
Right,
Everyone's grown older.
And I was trying to remember if there's any female comics who have that kind of a show in India. I couldn't think of one. Even internationally, the only one I can think of is Ali Wong had Baby Cobra, which she does when she's very visibly pregnant, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking like your Biswa, Abhijit Ganguly, Anirban Dasgupta, and I'm just naming names off the top of my head. They can afford to tour with their fatherhood specials because they have their wives at home taking care of the child.
Yeah.
I was wondering tomorrow if like a Sumukhi or a Prashasti or someone becomes a mother, and will they then be able to, or will that stage ever even come? Because again, then you get into the whole thing about the modern Indian woman. Does she even want to marry? Does she even want to have kids? If they even talk about dating, you can see the comment section is completely slut shaming them straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts about that? Anything?
I have so many thoughts about this, Abbas. Where do I begin? First of all, it is so hard for female stand-ups to date, because first of all, we're working at night when everybody gets free. So dating itself becomes a problem. Because you're free in the daytime when they are working, and you're not free in the nighttime when they're free and they want to meet you, right? Now, the way men do this is a lot of the women come and wait at their shows. They'll wait in the green room. A lot of their girlfriends or wives or whatever will be around them when they're doing their shows. You think a man will do this for a woman, where he'll just come and sit with you in the green room, or he'll sit downstairs?
Not all of them.
Most of them don't.
Of them
so they do not date comics, first of all. All right. So it's very difficult to date as a female comic. Now, even if you found, like a lot of people that found partners before they became famous, like Sonali and, Ramya Ramapriya is also married. They all have children, by the way. They have babies. Ramya came with me to the Melbourne Comedy Festival, and most of her material was about her
being
baby.
A mother? Okay.
Yeah, but now the thing is, she was there and she had to leave her child at home and come to Australia, okay? Now, if she has to tour, that would be a completely different ball game. Like, can you leave your child with your parents and tour the whole world with your material? Is that even possible for a mother to do? All of these questions come in. We're going to find out if any of them are capable of doing it. I think they can once their kids grow a little older.
Okay.
But it is a privilege. Stand-up in general is much easier for men in every way. Like, because you don't have to earn people's respect. Like, even if a woman is good, there's also the concept of we still don't want to see a woman
Yeah.
on stage. Like,
yeah.
there's an ingrained sexism in people, and I'm not talking about just men. Even women feel the same way. It's why I'm saying even on Women's Day, women prefer to call a man because they find men funnier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just how it is. We're wired to be that way. So it's just not possible for women to have the same
Do you think
journey.
the stand-up watching audience in India, you think that there are more women watching it now live than there were before?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
There are more women watching it live, but it has to come organically. I'm really bothered by the fact that, when women say, but let's go support women.
Yeah.
If you don't like the woman organically, just forget about it.
Right.
Because this is it's so condescending.
Infantilizing.
Yeah, because you're like, okay, if I'm not funny, you don't watch me. But don't do this thing where you're like, I'm here to support the
you.
ladies and stuff. It really bothers me. Every time I'm on a lineup with a guy and somebody has posted a story praising that dude where they're like, oh, we saw it, it blew my mind. But there were also ladies there on this lineup and they like tag us. And I'm like, I don't want to know, dude. It's fine. If you didn't like me, that's all right.
Yeah.
But so I guess we'll just have to wait for that day. And like, look, it's still fun to do.
Yeah.
Still like one of the most fun jobs I've had. And this happens in every aspect of life. You go to any job, women have a problem. So at least I can say whatever I want while I have this problem.
Nice. This was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Anything you want to plug? Anything you have coming in the pipeline? Where can
You know what?
follow
Please follow me on Instagram. I have a video out. It's on YouTube. You can watch that. But you should also follow me now because I'm going to start going on tour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'll probably go on tour because I've never been on tour. Everybody in the scene is like, you got to go on tour.
Yeah.
So I think I will be announcing that soon. I don't know when. But follow me on Instagram. My handle is @niv.prakasam.
All right, Niv. So yeah, as Niv said, please follow her on the said platforms and please watch her video, the new one and the older ones. And hopefully, if we're lucky, we'll find the AIB spoof video, which you will unlist one day.
Oh, God. There's no way.
Cool, Niv. We'll hope to have you again someday.
Yeah,
and,
that would be great.
We should properly bitch about the comedy scene the next time we sit together.
Absolutely.
But
let me know when you want to do that.
Absolutely, yes. We'll probably keep the cameras off at
Yeah,
that time. Cool.
yeah.
Nice, cool. Thank you so much.
It was so good to see you.
Nice to see you too.